This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my god.
Welcome back to The Christmas is Real, the podcast that cringes along with Australian reality TV and pop culture at large. I'm Sam Crimean, and back for a second serving of Christmas cheer is the wonderful Paul Mizzi. Finding Mr. Christmas is a Hallmark original production, and you can watch it all on Hallmark Plus or Prime now, including the winner's film, Happy Howlidays. Paul Mizzi, we're back. It's still Christmas. How are ya?
Yeah, going really well. Recovering from my Christmas. It's Boxing Day here in Australia. Is it still Christmas Day for you?
It is. It's Christmas evening here in, a predominantly Muslim country, so there's not a whole lot going on. But it's been cute.
Well, Merry Christmas regardless.
Merry Christmas. How was your Christmas? Did you have a few drinks, did you?
No, I'm recovering from the amount of food I ate.
Oh.
Yeah, Christmas for me is all about gorging myself, so now the recovery begins.
I have been gorging myself on your Christmas special episode over on the Swapcast podcast. Thank you so much for keeping me entertained. Hot Frosty, for those who haven't seen it, for those who haven't listened, go and do so. Incredible.
Yeah, this episode, we do a Christmas episode every year, and it's pretty consistent. Like, it's usually the worst film we watch all year.
Was it
the
Lindsay Lohan last year? No, Jennifer Garner.
No,
Jennifer Garner. I remember we talked about it.
Last year was Jennifer Garner. Most of the ones before that have been like more like Hallmarky type ones. Like we did one with like Alec Baldwin once. It was like William Baldwin. One of the other Baldwins. It was fucking awful.
An off-brand Baldwin.
Yeah. But yeah, they're usually so fucking bad. And I don't know. I thought Hot Frosty was actually pretty fun. I know a lot of people have watched this year. It's the new Netflix one where like a snowman comes to life and he's like incredibly sexy. Like that's the whole point of the film, is that he has abs.
The abs are so
so
stupid.
you can kind of see why this film would have appealed to me.
I must say, power to, I need a little bit more meat on my man, but I get it.
Yeah.
I can't unsee. I was just looking at his face. This actor, what's his name? Dustin Milligan from Schitt's Creek.
Milligan.
Yeah. He looks great with a beard. I saw pictures of him with a beard. I was like, he's cute. Without the beard and with the long hair, how they've got him styled in this film, he looks like Alaska from Drag Race. Out of drag. Like, he has the same face.
Yeah.
And then
and they've also made him film as well, to say that he's like a snowman. So like the paleness.
Pasty. Yes, he's like skinny and pasty, and he looks incredibly snatched.
Yeah. He's definitely not at peak hotness in this film.
No, the styling is bad.
Yeah, but I appreciate how thirsty this film is, and like all the characters in the film are like so actively thirsty for him. I found it very relatable. So,
well, there's another Christmas movie that we will be discussing on today's podcast, but we're going to save it for dessert. It's the Hallmark hit Happy Holidays, starring Mr. Christmas, who we are yet to discuss who wins this show. But before we get into all that, I do have to tell you about my hilarious day at Moroccan Hollywood.
What is Moroccan Hollywood?
Moroccan Hollywood
what is this?
Moroccan Hollywood is so prolific, but also kind of tragic at the same time. We were just like passing through And we were like, should we go to this? It's called Atlas Studios. It's like near the mountains, and there's like it kind of looks like a theme park, but with no rides, and you can go and like explore these leftover sets that many films
Mhm.
have been taking place. I sent you some photos because I was dying. So both
Yeah.
Gladiators were filmed here, one
Yeah.
and two, the most recent one. So there was some like set pieces from that, which was kind of cute. They've still left like Khaleesi's palace from Game of Thrones, just like
Mhm.
in the desert, just sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, are they hoping that she's gonna come back? I don't know. To the
Yeah.
point where we were like walking through this one area in the local village, and people had done paintings of her, like the actress that plays Khaleesi, with like Berber language stuff around it, like claiming her as though she was like their own actual queen.
Yeah. Amazing.
So good. And then we asked the guide, like, what are they filming here now? Because we could see there was like an actual production taking place, and he was like, "Oh, it's the God of War film from the
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
game." And The Rock is here filming this movie, and I was like, "Amazing! Of course, The Rock is in the God of War films."
Yeah.
But yeah, can confirm he was not on Grindr. So there's that. But then the crazy thing was, next to Moroccan Hollywood is just like an actual neighborhood, which
Yeah.
every American film that needs to be set in like war-torn Baghdad is like filmed in this neighborhood
Yeah.
because they're not going to the actual Middle East to film these films. So this poor
Yeah.
neighborhood in Morocco, imagine you live there and just like everyone in America thinks that your just regular house is what like a war zone looks like.
That's grim.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, that
Yeah.
was my exciting
No,
adventure.
that sounds amazing. I would have loved to do something like that. I've done like in Hawaii. I went to like Kualoa Valley where they shoot so much stuff, and it was
Oh,
very similar.
is that Jurassic
And we
Park?
ended up, yeah, Jurassic Park. And when we were there, they were filming the Ben Affleck movie, Triple Frontier, and we got to like tour the set of that. But yeah, like 51st Dates and like all these films, like they'll take you to
Incredible.
all the places where everything was shot. So yeah, I love that shit.
Incredible. I still want to visit the green room in Japan, the set of The Boyfriend, and like see if there's a coffee cart active, see if they're shooting season 2. Oh, that
Yeah.
was the other film that they shot there, which the guide was like, "Oh, I don't know if anyone wants to know this, but this is the set from Passion of the Christ." And all the Aussies in the group were like, "Ooh, we don't know him." But that was fucked. It was like a well, and they've kept it. I'm like, why would you keep the Passion of the Christ set? Like, please demolish that immediately.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like a lot of these films, like I'm Maltese, and a lot of these films shoot in Morocco and Malta, like Gladiator and
Well, famously, the
all these
Popeye
films that you mentioned.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So like the entire Popeye set is still in existence in Malta. Like this obscure 80s Robert Altman musical that nobody likes.
I'm
The
planning
entire
I'm planning
village
to
is
visit
still
that
there.
next year. For
Yeah.
real.
I mean, it's so the funny thing is like actually amazing. Like they built an entire village for this film. Like the buildings, most sets it's all exterior, but you can like walk into every building and there's like things in it. So yeah, it's kind of incredible, but
No, this was grim. There was this one set that was like this kind of like ancient China like set that looked really, they'd built it. It was a bit shit, but they still built it. And then we were like, "What movie is this
yeah.
from?" And they're like, "Oh, it never came out." I was like, "Okay, so are you leaving it here in case someone else, like, I don't know, a Tomb Raider comes back, or yeah." I like
Yeah.
applaud them. Oh, I also wanted to circle back on Love is Blind Habibi, which I discussed with you last time we spoke. I was halfway through the season then, and it was chaotic. I've since finished the season, and this show is like so wild. Like the guy that ends up dumping the girl because she chooses dancing over him, allegedly, even though he's just being like such a misogynist prick, gets no like anything, no karma comes to him at the reunion. The hosts are just like, oh yeah, cool. And these girlies have to like defend themselves. It's so infuriating, but like a real window into another world.
So would you recommend watching it, or
I
like
honestly
is it
would.
ultimately too infuriating?
No, I would. It's like I think it's only 10 episodes or something. And yeah,
Hmm.
I've certainly not seen a reality show like it. So there's that.
Hmm.
I don't know if you're interested in seeing, yeah, how they do whatever there. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Yeah, if you want to hate men more than you already do, definitely watch this show.
Is that possible?
Oh my God. But men that we don't hate, men that we absolutely love, are the gorgeous and wholesome
Hmm.
cast of Finding Mr. Christmas. Shall we get back into season 1 of Finding Mr. Christmas?
Please do.
Please do. It's been a little while, so you might have to refresh my memory. I've seen a lot of things between now
I was
and then.
I was hoping that you would refresh mine. That's your job.
I've taken no notes. No, I have notes. Don't you worry. We left off at the end of episode 4, so naturally we're going to start now. The start of episode 5, Parker had been eliminated, but then Jonathan Bennett was like, "Hey guys, how about keeping Parker?" And they were like, "Of course, it's Christmas," and they kept Parker. And so we start in this episode with Jonathan Bennett saying, "Is that not beautiful?" to the guys after they kept Parker. And there's a lot of bromance, there's a lot of hugging.
Yeah. Do you believe it as pure bromance, or do you think it was them being strategic and keeping him in because it's what a Hallmark man would do?
I mean, it's what a Hallmark man would do. It's also because, as I've said, there was a medical evacuation. So they had an extra spot for the challenges and they needed to pad out the
Yeah.
episodes. But look, I like that they used it as like one of these like tests of character that pop up throughout the
Mhm.
season. Sometimes sneaky secret ones, sometimes they're quite
Yeah.
obvious. But it was a little test of character. Like, are you going to save this guy? And of course, they were all going to do it. Imagine if they didn't. Jonathan Bennett would cry.
It doesn't take much to make Jonathan Bennett cry, I've discovered.
The mention of like anything to do with Hayden's dog, the mention to do with like, yeah, pretty much anything. Jonathan Bennett is like, is that not beautiful? It's Christmas. Oh boy. So there's still 6 left. We get this face off. This is the marshmallows and cocoa face off that I thought
Yeah.
was the obstacle course one. This one was very different. They had to
Yeah.
like soak up hot cocoa with these like big marshmallow pillows and like fill them in the other thing. Yeah, this one felt a little bit sexy, but I also didn't know what the liquid actually was. So it just kind of looked like murky brown liquid.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, yeah, any scat enthusiasts might actually have really enjoyed this challenge. It did
Yeah.
read as poo water.
It was poo water. It like they kept calling it hot cocoa, but then I was like, there's no way it's actually hot because that would like be quite painful. So
Yeah.
yeah, it just looked a bit awkward. But that was all of the challenges have been quite high production value.
Mhm.
Yeah, looked done. Hayden and Blake win this one. Yeehaw. And then we learn that the Maxi challenge is improv. So this episode, by the way, is called Laughing All the Way. So we knew the comedy challenge was coming because, one of the hallmarks of a Hallmark man is a bit of humour.
Hmm.
But this challenge, it's kind of giving Thank God You're Here. Did you think that? Like they have to kind of
Yeah,
walk into a
yeah, I
scene with
see
that.
that.
They walk into a scene without knowing what's going on. This time it's awkward. They get two scene partners. Um, Hayden. Also, they all get given like this quirk that they have on the way in. Hayden's is like
Mhm.
he has to do like a thumb war with someone every time the bell rings. But this like for Hayden, it's kind of his usual shtick. He's like doing a little extra thing. He's been doing that a bit like with the jacket.
Yeah.
And like he threw something once and they were like, oh my God, what an actor. So like this was his challenge to win, didn't you think?
Yeah, I thought this was Hayden's challenge to lose.
Yeah. Blake's quirk is like putting like his thumb in like a jar of jelly. Or he like chose to do that during the
Mm,
scene and I was like, what the fuck is going on? This was chaos. This was like pure like having Melissa Peterman in this scene as well added an extra layer of
yeah.
chaos that we needed. I was lolling mostly at her. But yeah, if you
Hmm.
entered this show blind at this point, you would be like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, it was just the fact that none of these guys are clearly comedians. The quirks that were given were strange and not funny. And
And they took away from the
and I
scene.
guess yeah, so it was just very it was like it was working against itself to be good in any way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't think this, as far as the like main acting challenges went, like this one was a bit of a flop because the quirks added stuff that I don't know. They should have just done it like a Thank God You're Here, like straight up, and just had a scene that they didn't know what was going to happen, and the whole thing was improv. I think that's enough of a challenge. But then to throw in the quirks,
Mhm.
I don't know, didn't work for me.
Also, I kind of am questioning the relevance of this to Hallmark movies in general. Because when I watch a Hallmark movie, the last thing I'm thinking is, oh my God, this is like incredible improv. It's
Oh,
all just
honey,
same AI written scripts
not a
performed in the same
moment.
way.
Like it's so scripted to the point where it doesn't. None of it feels like it's being delivered in a genuine way.
Yeah.
Elijah's quirk is these finger guns, which
Hmm.
this was like hard to watch, but apparently he nailed it. They were like, "Oh yeah, doing those finger guns." I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah. And wasn't he doing something like chopping wood or, oh, it was
It was
really
bad.
bad.
It was bad. This was
Yeah.
where they started to really start quite enjoying Elijah in a way that I didn't
Hmm.
ever relate to. I don't know. I was getting
Hmm.
more repulsed, but the judges were getting more turned on, which I think is
Yeah.
what was happening here across the board.
Mm. Yeah.
Parker's was like sounding like a chicken when the phone rings, which I was like, that's kind of unfair. Because at least the other ones were like physical comedy. His was like he had to actually
Yeah.
stop and just be like, "Bakirk." So I'm like, how do you work? Like, sorry.
Yeah. Actually, now that it has been a bit since I watched this episode, and now that you're describing it, it's like fucking PTSD.
I'm
I
so
was
sorry.
so I had like flushed this out of my brain, and now that it's coming back, I'm like, oh my God, this was painful. I
This was
hated this so
mid-season
much.
slump. This was mid-season slump
Yeah.
episode for sure.
Yeah.
Ezra had to scream, "I'm back, baby," every time the bells jingle, but I don't know. Something about Ezra just kind of worked. It sounds like a
Yeah.
line that he would say. Um, also, he can literally do anything, and I will be like, "Mm-hmm, yes."
You are back, baby. I agree.
Oh, exactly. And then what do? Oh, then they try and get him to do like a jingle from like a Christmas tree farm. They're like, remember on the Christmas tree farm that had that jingle? And he was not volleying very well. Whole thing
Yeah.
was unhinged. Yeah. And Jonathan Bennett really wrote himself into these scenes, which also
Mhm.
didn't have to happen. Like he was there when they
Yeah.
came in. He was like, yeah.
And remind me, didn't one of the guys in their scenes, like Melissa Peterman's, like take your shirt off, and then he didn't, and then they used that as a
As a
mark
flop,
against his name.
Jonathan had to like flex his guns.
Mm-hmm.
They were like,
Yeah.
do an aggressive flex. And he was like, aggressive flexing? That's my favorite thing to do. I'm going to nail this. And I was like, okay, amazing. Every time the phone rings, he had to aggressively flex. It was wild. Anyway, back on the main stage, the shining star is Elijah. And this was when I was like, whoa, 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 calm down. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I wasn't seeing it. They just loved him. Jonathan and Parker are in the bottom two. Parker knows he's in trouble. Because, I mean, look, he got eliminated last week. And it's Jonathan's first time in the bottom. So it's kind of like, I wonder who's going home at this point.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we
Yeah.
say bye.
The writing's on the wall.
Yeah, rings on the wall. This time for good, we say bye to sexy Daddy Parker. But also, yeah, ouch for getting eliminated twice.
What an achievement.
I thought from the first episode he was definitely in the like final.
Yeah,
looked
but
alone.
he was just he on looks, but then yeah, the personality. He was just a bit of a sad sack, and always talking about his family. Like
When the wife, they
boring.
did not like that. They were like, "Shut up about the wife."
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 6 is called The Festive Five, and we do have a final five now, finally. And they do a Christmas trivia for the festive face-off. This I thought was like so easy peasy. The questions were like not at all difficult. Yeah.
Were you playing along at home?
I mean, I was, but also I was kind of like, yeah, just looking at Ezra. Oh my God. Oh, there was one that was like, which nut is roasted? And I was like, excuse me?
But Hayden had no idea what a chestnut was.
Yeah.
Like
They don't
we
really
have chestnuts in Australia.
We do.
We do have them.
They're not commonplace, but yeah, I was like, okay. It was pretty Queensland of him to not know what a chestnut was.
Yeah, I mean, like my family roasts chestnuts. Like
On an
I
open
don't know if
fire.
it's something that you not on an open fire, but they do it.
I was thinking one thing. I'll tell you which nut I want. It's Ezra's.
Just one nut.
Just the one. Oh, I mean, hey, he looks like he could go a few times, I reckon. He's got some stamina in him. Then, okay, I loved this acting scene. This was the high stakes acting scene. So, this was basically the producers of a reality show going, all right, guys, it's near the pointy end. We're going to need to see you be like dip into the trauma. Like get some, yeah. And this director woman was incredible, but also a bit of a cunt. I can't remember her name. Do you remember?
She was a star of Hallmark movies plus a director of them as well. So
yeah, and she wanted to see them really dig deep for this one and take us to a place of trauma. And this was just more opportunity for Hayden to bring up the fucking dog.
So good.
Like, I truly thought by this time that we were done with the dog and that the storyline had been
Yeah.
flogged to death. But oh no. No, 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 no. Hayden and the dog comes back. Ezra was really good. Like, Ezra really came out with the emotions here. And then when they did like Untucked or whatever, whatever we're calling them sitting around on the couch, he really like, I don't know, he found a way to act this week. Was this the turning point for Ezra?
No, I would disagree. I would say that like Ezra is bad at acting. He is bad acting in the scene. He's bad at acting in any future scenes that we see him in. It's bad. Like, he is incredibly good looking. He is
Like,
gorgeous.
possibly the best looking person I've ever seen in my life. And it's unfair that he
Yeah,
exists.
he's just, the fact that he exists is ridiculous. He has, I'm sure he has a lot of talents, and you know,
facial expressions. He
because
has
he-
really good facial expressions.
sometimes he just has that dead eye. But yeah, like, I'm sure he was wonderful in the Navy. I'm sure he saved lots of people's lives.
Ooh.
I think he's probably an incredible person. Is acting his strong suit? No, it isn't. And
No.
you know, sometimes you can't be good at everything.
But he was good at reality TV.
So,
You got to
no.
give him that. Because this episode, he really found a way to like take over Hayden's role of like having the best sob story. I don't know. He kind of like won my heart a little bit with some tears because Hayden
yeah,
at this point is channeling dog toy. He's holding a dog toy.
well, you know, he asks the actress to hold the dog toy, like, of his abandoned, or the dog that he lost, so that, I don't know, he could feel the energy of the dog toy, and that would trigger his tears in the scene. And it fucking worked. Like,
It did. Well, it was also an opportunity for him to once again tell the story,
yeah,
which was great. Which, if you've missed, there was a tragic divorce, but the most tragic part was that Hayden could no longer see this dog that I think he was way more into than his ex-wife.
I just say he's never crying over the wife. You know, he sees
no.
a dog and goes
Not
into
that
tears.
bitch. Yeah.
He kisses other girls, and it's like, whatever.
Now, Jonathan fucks up this scene, and it's one thing. He drops the snickerdoodles. Not the snickerdoodles. And it's a crime.
And like, it is kind of ridiculous that, you know, what they're counting against these guys. Like, on a film set, people make mistakes, and there's always another take. It's not like you're on a stage and you've only got one go. So how is dropping something accidentally a mark against you when that kind of shit happens in films all the time? It's pretty unfair.
Yeah, it felt like they were just trying to get rid of Jonathan, which I thought was pretty mean. But also, yeah, they're like, you didn't emotionally connect. I'm like, okay, sure. I think it was just because you dropped the snickerdoodles. But you're right. And I thought it was weird in like the last episode where they do the challenge, like, this time we're going to give you multiple takes. And I was like, couldn't have done that before.
Yeah. It's pretty cruel, really.
Anyway, bye, Jonathan. She had a good run. I think he made it pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, can't act. So the fact that he got this far in an acting competition is pretty impressive.
No, but very pretty. Also can't really jump.
Mm-hmm.
When presented with a school camp hall setting, and not
Yeah.
an actual high jump setting. I'm sure in the right place, jumping would occur.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm. Also very good looking. Just the reason we watched this show. Episode 7. This was so good. This was a Christmas waltz. It's the Frosty Final Four. We get a snowman mini challenge,
Mhm.
which is immediately triggering me back to Hot Frosty. They had to build a snowman, but one team member was blindfolded. So like classic Survivor challenge. It's all about communication.
Mhm.
But this was so mean. Like some of the buttons were like hidden in like a really like impossible place to find. I thought it was so mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you like the image of these guys blindfolding each other?
Hmm. I did. I also love Melissa Peterman, MVP of this show. She comes in like you know how she disappears halfway through a challenge, which
Yeah.
is my favorite part
Yeah.
because she's just like rocks up whenever she's ready. She walks in and she's like, "Please don't tell me you did snowman puns without me." And Jonathan's like, "Oh, bitch, there has been so many snowman puns. You missed it all." Oh my God, I love there was a line here too. Ezra is paired with Blake, and he's like, he was a quarterback in college, and I was a receiver. So it's a perfect match. And I was like, oh, you were a receiver now, were you? Like, oh my God, match made in heaven. The bro, like wholesome bromance is just something we don't have in our culture. Don't you think? So like seeing
Yeah.
it is like it was hard for me to like accept. But then I also, once I found a way, I was so in. And it's my new thing.
So, do you feel like the bromances in Australia aren't wholesome? Is that the distinction?
Oh, not like
Because,
this.
I mean, you look at something like F Boy Island. I feel like
Hmm.
that's like a whole bunch of bromance going on there.
But it's like
Um,
shady. It's like drag queen levels of shady. Do you know what I mean? Like they hang shit off each other. They're like,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah,
Joe's got a big dick. We all saw it. Like it's crass. These boys are like
yeah,
knitting sweaters together.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's the
No,
distinction.
yeah, I get that.
I mean, I like both of these kinds of bromance. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm pro bromance in any situation.
Oh my God. Elijah gets paired with Hayden. It's all about communication. Um, and they win because Ezra and Blake fumble finding the buttons, which, yeah, felt like a very anticlimactic way to lose a challenge. But here we are.
Yeah,
Um, and then they do the like tic tac chat. Like Jonathan enters and he's like, "Do you guys need any advice?" I thought this was so strange. Do you remember this? Like on the couch, he's like,
yeah.
"Do you guys need any acting advice?" And they're all like, "Yeah, clearly. What have you got?"
Like, it's so funny that they're getting it from Jonathan Bennett. It's
Mhm.
not like this is Meryl Streep.
Oh my God, I've just realized that there is a one-way direction from Mean Girls to Christmas movies. Like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Like everyone on the Mean Girls cast will eventually get their own Christmas movie.
Yeah,
Every single one.
it's fucking Janice Ian next. Anyway, or Two Gator Function guy. He's been around. Remember he used to be on Drag Race all the time? Anyway,
Yeah, and he was
before
on
they got,
looking. Yeah,
yeah, he wasn't looking, before they got like real guest judges. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, so they ask for advice. Of course, Hayden is like sucking up so hard because he really wants to win. Oh my God. And I loved his best nugget of wisdom was you just have to wake up every day and not be able to not do it. He actually said that. That was his acting advice. I wrote it down because I was like, you know what, Sam? Sometimes, some days you just got to wake up and not be able to not do it. I'm like, that sounds like bad self care. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, even if you can't
yeah.
do it, force yourself. Is that what that means?
I think it's like if when I wake up in the morning, if I'm not in a Hallmark movie, I'll fucking kill myself. That's what it sounds like.
Well, then his next bit was Hollywood will never hug you, but your friends and family will. And I was like, wow, fucking put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. And also like way to call out the toxic fucking culture of Hallmark Christmas movies. Like
Well, later on, they're like, we're a
like in
family.
the end
And
of
they're
the
crowning the
day,
winner.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm seeing mixed messages here. It's like is this like this wholesome lovely place to be where everybody's
Mm.
accepted, or is this like a fucking meat grinder film studio where
Mm,
you're just getting churned out?
exactly. I think when you're in the tent, like when the contract is signed, it's family. But then
Mhm.
when you are not on a contract, it's like Hollywood will never hug you
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible
And I
advice.
think like in the Hallmark machine, like if you let your Botox like wear out, you're out in the fucking street. So you know, keep that shit tight.
Oh, and of course he cries. He finds a way to cry. I'm like,
Yeah,
fucking hell, mate. Even like you're supposed to be holding it together for these bros.
yeah. And speaking of Botox, like Jonathan Bennett trying to cry through his Botox is a sight to behold because you can see his face
Mm,
trying to squeeze up, but it can't, and it's something special.
it's beautiful. He's his nut. Have you seen his husband? The husband has like even
Hmm.
more Botox. Like that face is like like doesn't move at all. It's like full mask face.
Amazing.
Um, okay, it's time for the star quality challenge. With Whitney Carson from Dancing with the Stars. Oh my
The
God,
the
the celebrities they have on this show. How did they do it?
I know, star studded.
And of course, it's a dance challenge. This was so fucking good. Like, I actually think this is my favorite
Hmm.
challenge they did because it's a waltz and then they also work it in with the family visit. So it's like, meet your dance partners. And then they manage to find, like, so it's like Ezra's sister, Barbara,
Hmm.
and she's also hot. She comes in.
Yeah,
Then it's Hayden's sister, Jess. So I was like, okay, good thing that, like, these two had sisters. Because, like,
yeah.
obviously they needed female dance partners. Not a dry eye in the house at this point. Everyone is just.
Uh, imagine if imagine if they're like, Hayden, it's your ex-wife and the dog.
I was really, really hoping for that. The dog. I thought the dog was going to run in, and that was going to be his dance partner. But unfortunately, not. And they're
Amazing.
like, "Oh my god!" And they flew the sister from fucking Queensland. Amazing.
Yeah,
Um, and then of course Elijah's like pregnant, like partner is there.
yeah.
Um, which is cute. And then they bring in like a live audience. This the whole thing, I was like, what the fuck? Like they've learned this
Mhm.
incredibly simple dance routine, and then they have to do it like in front of their family. It's just yeah, this was fantastic television.
Mhm.
Um, oh, who's was Blake? Oh, Blake had his sister as well, his sister Sarah. So they just
Yeah,
all had sisters that were like willing to do it. It felt very strange.
yeah.
Blake is first, and it's not his first rodeo, but actually it is because he fucks up the dance. on the first take, and it was so mean they like left it all in. He's like, "Oh, we'd have to do it again."
Yeah.
Elijah kind of nails it. I mean, he's been on Broadway.
Yeah.
What did you think of this routine?
I'm just trying to remember what the fuck it was.
It was
I remember
like,
it was a
it was
waltz.
pretty forgettable. It was a little waltz for 2 seconds, and then it
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, let's break it down." Like in every movie, particularly Christmas movies, where
Oh,
it's like,
yes.
now
They
we're
had
gonna
the
do a little like
breakdown.
swing. It was like, because Christmas is very like swinging, like swing dance music. Do you know what I mean? It's like that
Yeah,
vibes.
yeah, and there was like some crappy like Christmas songs like "Let's Christmas this the
Yeah,
time away" or something.
around
Yeah,
the
oh
clock.
fuck
Yeah,
yeah, it was
it was like, duh, 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 but it
that
was
was
simple.
terrible.
But they tried to make it look like it was kind of impressive, like a flash. It was like a
Mhm.
place of flash mob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was pretty cringe. Yeah.
Mm. Oh yeah, big time. Ezra was nervous, but this is again Ezra's charm. Who's nervous, but then he kind of like nailed it, but then immediately starts crying afterwards. So I was like, well played, sir. Hayden flubs the little opening dialogue bit. I was like, "Oh, competition's getting to teacher's pet," but then nails the choreography. So I was like, "Oh, this is going to be close." Then they get to spend some quality time with the loved ones in the gingerbread house. We get Ezra's like, "I can't with this." He's like, "I made some cinnamon rolls for the guys." What the fuck?
Did you see during the filming of this, one of them posted on Instagram like the sisters and all of them just hanging around the house, and Hayden got like Vegemite and got them all to try Vegemite to see what they thought
Yes,
of it.
I think you sent it to me.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
it was cute.
Very,
Yeah,
very
but
cute.
also proved our theory of the fact that it wasn't cold because when the cameras weren't shooting, everyone's in shorts and t-shirts.
And they're all like sweating. Yeah, middle of summer.
Yeah.
Incredible. Tonight's shining star is, of course, Ezra, who performed the hell out of that dance sequence. And yeah, he's your dance sequence guy. He's not going to get the dialogue down in a believable way, but gosh darn it, he's going to look good doing a swing dance at the fucking Christmas market. Flash mob.
Yeah.
Elijah also makes the finale. So then the bottom two is Hayden and Blake. Which I was like, ooh. But then you kind of knew that Blake was going, right? Because Hayden's been the favourite for quite some time.
Yeah. It would have been absolute travesty if they sent Hayden home at this point.
I did miss Blake though. I missed his delusional sort of like, there's pretty women saying hi to me. I'm gonna be a star. Like that kind of dumb country guy energy was, yeah, needed in the house.
Yeah. It seems like a lovely person. Yeah. Acting, I don't know if that's his strong suit, but yeah. I was glad to have him on the show.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've made it to the finale. Of course, the finale starts with the boys like outside drinking hot cocoa by a fire, just like taking in the scenery.
I'll give the show this: that the scenery is beautiful,
Stunning.
beautiful men around beautiful mountains.
Yeah, occasionally holding
We loved to see
puppies.
it.
We loved
Yeah.
it. Melissa and Jonathan join the men. They're reflecting on their progress. I love their like, Ezra's like, it was like an audition, but also like school at the same time. I was like, well, for you it was, yes. Oh, okay, so The finale is the quintessential Hallmark scene that we all know is coming at the end of every movie. The kiss. Did you love that they saved this for the finale?
Yeah, no, it was a good idea.
It was perfect. But this was where I was confused because they were like, but plot twist, it's like a real film set. And I was like, what? And then I was confused because I thought that they were actually shooting a scene for the like upcoming movie that the winner gets.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Which wasn't, no. Yeah,
But
it
they
was
kept
just
referring
like,
to it. Yeah.
I think, yeah, because it had multiple setups that were going to be edited together, they were counting that as being more like a film set than what they've already done up to this point in the show.
Right.
But it's all very like, I don't know, like none of this really made any sense.
No.
Like in any point of the show.
Of course.
Like nothing
I don't know.
equated to the real job.
No, but they kept saying like, whoa, we're on like a real movie set. And I was like, well, you're not. But also, yeah, like it was so strange. Then they find out the supporting cast is Jonathan and Melissa. And at this point, I was like, oh my God, that horny fucking bitch. She's written herself in as the person they have to kiss.
Yeah.
And I got so excited. I thought that's what and then they're like, no, introducing like an age appropriate like Hallmark whore. And some chick walks in. And I was like, damn.
I would have loved if it was Jonathan Bennett that they had to kiss.
Oh,
and there's like, and they presented it in like, you know, sometimes in acting you have to do things you really don't want to do. This week we're making you make out with a faggot.
Or alternate endings where it's like one future where they have to kiss Melissa Peterman and one future where they have to kiss Jonathan Bennett. That would have been so good.
Let us produce the next season.
Exactly. Well, did you see? Season 2 is greenlit. Thank you, Jonathan Bennett. So excited. Oh, yeah, it was good. So they get a script and it's a whole 3 pages long, which the boys are like, whoa, a 3-page script? Just like a real movie. And then this leading lady, she does a little tic-tac chat as well. She comes in and she's like, anyone need some tips? But hers were actually good. She was like, it's all about the prior moment and the prior instinct. Which I was like, these are like legitimate Hallmark acting tips because it's all being shot in random times. So you do need to actually, you know, position yourself within the scene. Remember where you've just come from. Yeah, she was good. I thought she was a good leading lady.
Yeah, and I liked in her chat, she kind of acknowledged about how, you know, how quickly these Hallmark movies are shot. Like, it's good to acknowledge how, like, cheap and on the fly these productions are and how little effort is put into them. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, she was honest about it. Hayden was being so annoying. He was like that kid at school who's like paying too much attention, but it's like kind of fake, and everyone else is just like, ugh. Like a pen and paper out, like writing down the tips. He's like, prior instinct, prior moment. She gives them kiss tips as well. She's like, keep it Hallmark, not too messy. I was like, all right, PG-13, fucking bitch. But yeah. So of course it's like this scene makes no sense. They start and it's like Jonathan Bennett at the valet and they have to like throw the keys to him and he's like, hey, you got this. The line. Jonathan, like a random valet guy just being like, hey, you Christmas guy, you got this. Go get that girl.
Yeah, it's terrible, but representative of what the film they're going to make is going to be.
Exactly.
So,
They, of course, froth over Hayden's performance, as always. But I thought he kind of shot himself in the foot here because he was a little bit too good.
mhm. Yeah, we're not making, Schindler's List here. We're making fucking Happy Holidays. So be shit.
Be shitter. Be cheesy. He almost there was too much going on in the face. He needed to just look vacant and kind of just deliver the lines. Duh.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
thought it. But fuck, the camera loves Ezra.
hmm But he is objectively awful in this scene. Terrible.
Really
He
bad.
doesn't sound like a human being. He sounds like a robot interpreting what humans would sound like.
Mhm.
And you can see his wheels turning, trying to remember the lines. The way he structures his sentences is truly bizarre, where he puts the pauses into his sentences. Do you even know how people speak? Awful.
Mm. Elijah is he's probably the most experienced of the top three. But then he says in confessional, there's so much at stake with my daughter on the way. And I was like, ooh, you're not winning. They've left that in. So,
Plus, he does the
fist
most
pump.
bizarre choice,
The
the
fist bump.
fist bump. I actually wanted to vomit in my mouth.
It was
fucking terrible.
I actually had to pause and just take that in. Because up until that point, he was great. He was doing it all fine. I don't know. So they get notes along the way. Ezra's rushing it. So was Elijah. They ask him to slow it down a bit. Hayden doesn't really get any notes. But then, oh no, what do they ask him to do? Something else. I don't know. I just remember at this point thinking Hayden's got this competition in the bag, based solely on his notes weren't that bad, or they were they liked it, but then they came up with a note for him anyway, or something.
Yeah, and if we're looking at this as an acting challenge, he did the best. There's no question about that. It's an objective fact. So if this was a fair competition, he would be winning this at this point.
Yeah, he would. And he didn't fist bump during the kiss, which was also win. Yeah, so this was the fuck moment.
Yeah.
So then I literally thought he was going to win, but then I was also I want my boyfriend Ezra to win. And then also, Elijah's there fist bumping while kissing the melody. So they only got one take for the kiss, right? But they could do the other bits a few times. Yeah, that felt weird.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Then
because it wouldn't be a hallmark, wholesome moment if they kiss twice.
No.
Even though this chick has just kissed 3 guys in the matter of an hour. But anyway.
What a fucking whore. Then they step forward into the main stage. And I loved this so much, Paul, when it started snowing inside for them to announce the winner. It was so good. Elijah's out first. They're like, sorry, buddy. He goes, oh no, Jonathan goes, we love you, buddy. I'm like, ooh, that's patronizing.
Yeah.
Buddy?
Yeah.
That's all he gets? Give him a car or something, Anyway.
Yeah. I just don't understand. I don't think it was out of the question to at least give the other guys a cameo in this shitty movie. How hard would it have been?
They could have walked past in the background. They could have been dog walkers. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Then it's the final 2. And I was shocked. You said you had it spoiled though, yeah? Because I was genuinely shocked at this result.
Yeah, I had it spoiled. And when I saw the winner before I saw the episode, I was shocked at that point. Because
I did scream my boyfriend won at the screen. When Ezra finally wins, but I did feel really bad for Hayden.
Yeah, I guess this is pretty privilege. You know, this is an example of pretty privilege because there is no reason why Ezra won except the fact that he's good looking.
But there's pretty, and
he-
then there's pretty.
Oh,
You know,
stunning.
and
But
he's also
at the end of the day,
Hayden's got that little. Hayden looks like a little puppet man, whereas Ezra is
Mhm.
like he's just so big and manly. But yeah, he definitely won because of that. Because he's. But also, I think Hayden was too good at acting, and they wanted someone that can just kind of like, yeah, hallmark it up.
But then I mean, we're about to discuss the film, but I think Ezra's wooden acting was the stake in the heart of this fucking film.
Let's fucking talk about this film because
yeah,
the first thing that came to me was not even starting this film, but seeing that it was about a dog. I was like, not only did they not let Hayden win, but they kick him while he's down, and they're like, we're also going to take your traumatic story and turn it into the Hallmark movie that you will not be in.
yeah, absolutely. It was like they had literally written this film for him and then said you can't have it. And yeah, so the film's called Happy Howlidays.
Yes.
Terrible. Terrible. Co-starring Jessica Loud from 90210.
Oh, that's where she's from. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you know, there's another reason that Ezra won that we haven't yet discussed. And it's that he's packing.
Ah, yes. So you think he was just waving his giant dick around the set and they were like, look, this guy has to win.
I reckon there was a secret casting couch moment with Jonathan Bennett and Ezra, which we can now confirm is hung. I think that may have helped.
My problem with this film, you're going to cast Ezra, you're going to make him win and put him in the lead of this film purely because he is sexy and looks amazing without his shirt. Then fucking put in more than 10 seconds of this film without a shirt. He should have been shirtless for 95% of this fucking movie.
We did get grey tracksuit pants in a hiking scene with like a low camera angle, and we did get him in a tiny like women's t-shirt for quite a while.
Yeah.
And that scene was camp as fuck. Whichever gay like wrote those scenes in, like thank you. But you're right, there could have been more.
Yeah. Like they could have made this, they could have made any movie. Like they've got a fucking vault full of 1,000 of these scripts. Just find one, set on a beach. Find one, find the sexiest fucking script you can and shove this guy in it because that's the only thing he can do. He is a dead weight on this fucking film. He is so wooden.
But it's not about him. This film is not about him. This film is at its core about a broken healthcare system in America. Move over, Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, this would be Luigi's favorite holiday movie of all time.
This is about the broken healthcare system in America causing a domino effect for this woman to no longer be working as a healthcare professional because it's tough out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She decides it's more valiant to abandon humans and trying to help them through their broken system and just start becoming a vet and healing dogs instead. That's
but her parents are more than happy to pay for not only her incredible like waterfront property. Well, it's not a waterfront property. It's like on a floating pontoon in a lake. Her parents paying for that. And then her parents are also willing to just like come and like fucking save her out when she's in a pinch. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you just need rich parents and everything will be fine.
Yeah, like I mean, it seems very apparent they paid for her medical degree, and now they're willing to pay for a whole second veterinary degree. No questions asked.
Thing. Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you can't just become a vet based on your like human medical degree. You have to go through a whole ass fucking 4 years.
Well, they weren't going to let her stay
studies.
at the Seattle Tourism Board because that's not a real job, even though those offices were stunning.
Yeah,
for like public service officers. I was like, sorry?
Yeah, which I appreciated because so many of these Hallmark movies, they're like mostly set because they've all got the same storyline and they're always set at like a boring office. And a lot of the times they're very ugly, like claustrophobic spaces, and you're spending so much time in those spaces in these films. So I appreciated that they at least gave her a nice office and the house was to look at. Like,
house was stunning.
Location.
It was like an Airbnb ad for like stay on a floating pontoon house in the water, like in Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give the film that. It was like nice to look at. There was a lot of nice locations.
And it wasn't long, which I thank them for.
Yeah. It felt fucking 3 hours long though. It felt so long.
Except for that scene, when we finally get Ezra naked. But it wasn't quite long enough. Do you know what? There is one common trope between this film and Hot Frosty, which is this like, I'm just a useless single woman and my life is a hot mess. And then like they need like a man to like appear out of thin air and like fix them. Like what the fuck? Like we're really setting back the movement with these films.
Oh, but every single one of these films is exactly the same. Like every Hallmark movie has this same storyline. It's just 2024. Transplanted
like,
to
come on.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is what people want. And if they change the formula, they'll stop watching. Like that, this whole industry, it's a very bizarre industry. People watch it. It has to be shit. Like if you make it too good, people will stop watching it. And if you like venture outside of the formula that's set out, people will get upset and stop watching it. So it has to be exactly this over and over and over again. Yeah.
Except there was like a social media storyline of like, which was like very Emily in Paris of like, we're gonna like save the town by being influencer, like the dog influencer moment. I actually want to kill myself.
Yeah, and like a lot of people criticized Emily in Paris for how like shit her social media posts are in that show, but this made hers look amazing. Like these posts, like shitty out of focus videos of dogs playing in a park were apparently like going viral for no reason.
Yes. Oh my God.
And everyone in the entire city was getting invested in the love story between these two dogs because of some shitty video of them running around. Like, what is even going on?
Look, I was glad Ezra won because I got to look at him some more. But secretly, I'm hoping that this acting thing doesn't work out for him. So he's forced to turn to OnlyFans.
Yeah,
and
that's his
what
true
I'm
calling.
asking for this Christmas. That's his true calling.
Yeah.
Come on. Look at him.
Yeah. Like he's a beautiful man. Like even, obviously we want him to do like degrade himself and become a porno star. But if that's not going to happen,
nothing degrading
at least
I don't know what you're talking about.
But if that's not going to happen, like become a model. Like I could see this guy in a Target catalog. Like just that's where your strengths lie. Embrace it. Even if you became like an Instagram influencer, I could even see that. Like he just does not have the skills unless, some amazing acting coach decides to make him his next project and like intense acting workshops with him for the next couple of years. Maybe
And he
at the
got all
end of
those
that.
great tips from Jonathan Bennett about not getting hugged from Hollywood. So I
Oh,
don't know.
fucking
Weird.
hell. Speaking of that, Jonathan Bennett's cameo in this film.
Oh yeah,
was
we didn't even talk about that. Oh, it was bad.
so bad. And he managed to do one of his Botox cries in it for no reason as well.
He did a Botox,
Oh,
and he also got in a line about Mr. Christmas.
yeah, he's like,
the
thanks,
tie-in.
Mr. Christmas.
Yeah, wink.
Which made no
Yeah.
sense. No sense.
No, there's no, yeah. But I did like that his character was a uptight gay that was like, me and my perfect partner are like done everything because we want to adopt a dog. And I was like, that was like the perfect character choice for Jonathan Bennett. Playing himself.
But yeah, like everything else in this film, it was painful.
Have we seen how this is there an IMDb rating for this film? Has there been a reception? Has it caused, like, I don't know, some sort of political and cultural movement? I've been offline, Paul. Tell me what's going on.
Well, it has quite a low letterbox score. Surprisingly, and a lot of the comments are people demanding justice for Hayden. So
No.
yeah.
So there is a Justice for Hayden movement.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's got incredibly low rating. Some of the reviews, like, so this guy got the lead role because he won the Mr. Christmas reality show, and I'm so curious about that now, because if he's the best, how bad were all the other contestants? Woof.
Oh, at least he got a woof. I mean, that's nice.
That's the top review on Letterboxd.
So people are just watching Happy Holidays and not watching all 8 episodes of Finding Mr. Christmas. Oh,
I know, insanity.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, we did it.
We
found
certainly
Mr.
did.
Christmas, and it was inside us all along.
You want him to be inside you all along.
Hey, that's absolutely correct. And with that, I say, what's the good night thing for Christmas?
And to all a good night.
To all a good night. Oh, I'm delirious.
Well, enjoy the rest of your Christmas. You've got a bit of Christmas left, so
I've got
like
an hour and 20 minutes
Yeah.
left. All right, Paul, it's been a pleasure.
right.
I look forward to more silliness in the new year.
Absolutely, yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to The Cringe is Real with me, Sam Kraman. If you would like to support the show, rate, review, share, and tell your friends about it. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the show notes.